doesn't love guacamole? I know I do. And recently it seems like it's become a big health craze for people to eat avocados. It's become labeled as a superfood. And everywhere you go, it's always cost extra to put guac. So why not make your own? Most of the time, people like me or you, working, go to school, don't exactly have the money to just make some fresh guacamole all the time. So I created a cheap, easy alternative to it that don't necessarily involve all the extras like tomato, cilantro, onion. I got you today. It's going to be a cost-effective guacamole that you guys are going to love. I've been making this since I was a little kid, but then I didn't necessarily do it for the cost effectiveness, but now it just happens to be really useful to me. I don't have to buy all the extra things. So what are the ingredients? So obviously, you're going to have to use your avocados. You're going to want to use your jalapeno. You're going to use your Sazon seasoning. And by preference, what you're going to dip it with is going to be your tortilla chips. Some extra things I brought, but you don't necessarily need to have, are a knife. You can also use scissors and such. A bowl for your guacamole. And a cutting board to cut it all on. So what's some history behind guacamole, right? So around the 14th century, the Aztecs came up with what is more known as guacamole now. Obviously, avocados have always been around, and that's the basis of it, but that's what's most relative to what it is now. And around the 16th century, the Europeans came to Mexico then, where the Aztecs were, and they brought avocados, specifically guacamole, back to Europe, and it became really widespread and popular there. Obviously, it's still crazed here. So what's the importance? Eating healthy food is pretty important. And although this may not be the most, healthiest food that you can, it's good for younger people like myself to eat some good greens. Most of the time, we tend to just dabble in just a quick and easy chips or whatever from the market, and we forget that health is a thing. It's something that we all can work on, and we can all involve more greens into our diet, more healthy fats specifically into our diet, like avocado. And that's important for us. So what's the cost of everything going to be, right? We want it to be cost effective. So for an avocado, this is a Hass avocado, it's 60 cents each. Depending on where you go, I got mine from Walmart. A jalapeno is sold by the pound, which these are 98 cents a pound. This is obviously not a pound, one jalapeno, so that's going to be like a little bit less than that. And then you have your chips. I specifically have the brand, mine known as Best Tortilla Chips, and these were $3.99 for 2 pounds. Pretty a lot of chips, a lot of food to eat. And the last thing you're going to need to get or buy is this Sazon. Technically it's $1.49 for 4 ounces, but I actually have the 110 ounce bottle because my family loves this seasoning. So we use it a lot, this Sazon. But you can of course use a smaller one, you're not necessarily going to use it a lot. So around like a guessing total for that would be around like $7.10, $7.15, $7.15. So not bad for a big snack for a lot of friends to enjoy. And it's a lot healthier than a lot of things you can get for $7.15. So what's the financial benefit? So saving money is obviously a great thing to do, and a lot of the time people will think that when they're spending money on food, it's not spending money. But you really are, and food can really be expensive, especially like fast snacks. A pre-prepared snack is always delicious and time-saving, but sometimes you can just put in a tiny bit more effort for it to just be a little bit more nutritious for yourself. That's important. Your body's your temple. Keep it good, right? So some food safety. Some things you're gonna have to think about are, first off, being safe and washing your hands. Don't spread the Rona. Use some antibacterial soap and rinse your hands for a good long time. I already did before this, so don't worry. You're going to want to make sure all of your utensils and such that you're using are clean, especially your cutting board, since you do commonly use that for different types of things such as raw meat and such. You want to make sure that's clean. You want to make sure you want to know how to properly use a knife, especially if you're on the younger side. You're going to want to be supervised with that, or someone can help you. That can be really helpful, but I hope all of you guys who are in college hopefully know how to use a knife. If not, it's okay. I use cooking scissors all the time to cut my food, and my parents make fun of me, but it is what it is. So some preparation. There are some things you need to prepare for this. you're gonna need to rinse your jalapeno. You don't necessarily have to rinse your avocado because you don't actually eat the outside of it. And you're gonna wanna make sure everything's good. So then, after you're done prepping and that such, you can start cutting it, but if you're gonna do it along with me, you can watch before you put it together. So now that you're putting it together, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is cut up your jalapeno. I cut mine into small squares, and they look like this. For me to put in my avocado, I set that to the side right here, and I use my knife to cut it. I then cut the avocado in a circular motion and twisted it, and I just pretty much cut squares out of it and put it in the other side. So now it's all in like its sections. We can put it together, right? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is get our bowl, our clean, safe bowl, and we're gonna toss our avocado in there. Nice and quick, clean and easy, not too much work. So now that you have your avocado in there, you're gonna wanna get your jalapeno and just put some in there. And be careful not to touch your eyes, because I have after I handled a jalapeno, and that was a traumatic experience. I never want to experience again. So now you're going to want to add some more flavor. We added the spice, we added the basics, the avocado. We have the sazon. This is a combination of garlic, cilantro, onion, but just ground up and cheap. Okay? So you just put a sprinkle of this. This isn't necessarily a measurement, but it's to taste. So I just put like that much, like not too much. Don't want to make it too salty. And then you're just gonna want to mix it with anything you have around. You don't necessarily have to have a spoon. You can mix it with your knife. I just happen to have a spoon next to me. You're gonna want to combine the ingredients. And once you have that, you have a delicious guacamole, quick and easy. Everyone's gonna love it. Be like, wow, they took so much time out of their day to make this. Be like, no, it took 3 minutes. That's the best thing. So, in closing, I've created this recipe for a really cost-effective way to enjoy healthy food that doesn't necessarily break your budget. You can still enjoy really great food without having to suffer the consequences, whether it's financial or time. Time is money. So this is just a good way to be balanced. Today you got to understand the ingredients, a little bit of history, a little bit more about why you should eat avocado, the importance of it, the cost, so that you can understand how much it's going to cost you, the financial benefit of saving money, your food safety, of course you must always know that, food prep, wash your vegetables, keep that in mind, and putting together this delicious snack. It's just good to know. I hope you guys all enjoy this.